Hi, everyone. Today's reading lesson was this passage about the jackfruit. And I'm sure that many of you have probably never seen a jackfruit before. I know that I have never seen one or eaten one, and we will read about why that is. So, have you ever seen a jackfruit? A jackfruit is a kind of fruit. It grows on trees. The fruit skin is covered in bumps. When it is young, the skin is green. When it gets older, the fruit gets ripe, then skin turns yellow. So, I'm going to pause here for a second. Do you know what the word ripe means? This word right here. So when something is ripe, that means that it's ready to be eaten. So for example, if you ever see a tomato plant, before tomatoes get ripe, they are green. And you know that a tomato will turn ripe, which means we can pick it and eat it when the tomato becomes red. So with the jackfruit, it is green. And then when the fruit gets ripe, the skin will turn yellow. So if you were going to go pick a jackfruit, you would know that it is ready to eat when the color of it is yellow. The jackfruit is very large. They can grow up to be 2 feet long, and just one of these fruits can weigh up to 40 pounds. The fruit grows in Africa and Asia, so that is why we do not have them here. It can grow in other places too. All the places where it grows have hot, wet weather. The jackfruit needs hot, wet weather in order to grow. So let's look at your questions that you are going to be answering today. So the first one, where does the jackfruit grow? And we can go back in our passage to look for this, and we want to see where the jackfruit grows. And it's in this bottom paragraph right here, and it says this fruit grows in Africa and Asia. So remember, you can always look back in the text when you're answering questions. So the answer to that one would be A. How does the text describe the skin on a young jackfruit? So remember, this is when we said before it gets ripe. So we know that it's not going to be smooth and yellow because yellow meant that it's ripe, but this is on a young jackfruit. So while it still needs more time to grow. So we can go back in the text again. And the fruit skin is covered in bumps. And when it is young, the skin is green. So the answer to that is bumpy and green. Read this sentence from the text. The jackfruit needs hot, wet weather to grow. What does this tell us about places where jackfruit grows? So, does it grow in places where they're hot and dry? Well, hot is right, but this word right here, wet, would be the opposite of dry, so that could not be the right answer. Jackfruit grows in places that are sunny, or jackfruit grows in places that are rainy. So the answer to this question is in places that are rainy. So it needs to be wet. And just because it's sunny doesn't always mean it's hot. Think about sometimes we can have sunny days in the middle of winter and they're so cold outside. What is this text mostly about? Well, what was the kind of fruit that you learned mostly about in this reading passage? And it is the jackfruit. So the answer to that one is B. How much can one jackfruit weigh? We can go back in our passage, and the answer is going to be in this paragraph. When you find that answer, how much it can weigh, I would like you to either tell a parent or you can write it on a piece of paper. But the jackfruit weighs how many pounds? And then last, what did you learn about the jackfruit? So I would like you to either tell somebody one thing that you learned about this new fruit, or if you are writing, you can write one sentence that you learned, and you can go back in the passage and look if you need to. Please remember that you will not have a video tomorrow or Monday. It is the Easter holiday. So I hope that you have a fabulous long weekend with your family.